Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Mitch Moss, Pauly Howard with you live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. An absolute banger coming up over the next 3 hours. Tons on Week 15 National Football League. College bowl games begin tomorrow. We'll spend time talking about that sport. Great guests on the show today. Evan Loring in 30 minutes, a Boston-based tech entrepreneur, had a hell of a weekend last weekend, and now he has $1 million on a game this weekend. I think the wrong team is favored. He'll tell you which team that's going to be when he joins the program. And if it wins, half of that is going to go to a local animal shelter in the city where he lives. It's unbelievable out of him. And if it loses, then what? Mike Somich on the program, VSiN host, his best bets for the week. Ross Tucker, long time no speak, CBS Sports NFL commentator. He has called plenty of Army games, and he's going to be on Jacksonville and the Jets. And our buddy Ryan Kramer, sports gambling podcast, every Friday night here on VSiN, Week 15 props and bets with him. I give up. I'm no longer involved with anything Tampa Bay Buccaneers related. Yeah. And it's a shame for me personally to get. It took 15 weeks to get here, but I'm so over this team, and I put too much time, money, and energy to get fried one final time into one team like last night. So good riddance. I hope they miss the playoffs now, Pauly.
Yep. That was Humans was killing the game on the pregame show. I'm like, hold on. Every time these teams get together, something magical happens, and we could get some fireworks in this one. And Cousins goes back, turns back the clock. He was awesome. The player props that hit. Octopus was trending. We had it all. But you're right. They were 6-2. And now between the Mayfield playing at 60%, what Ira Kaufman said, the defense is terrible. It's either Pitts over the middle or it's a dump off to Robinson. It shouldn't be this complicated. But you blow the 14-point lead. You still get the gift where Atlanta goes for 2 and couldn't get it. Horrible job with the clock. It was but they're not out of it because if you take care of business against Carolina, you're going to somehow win this lousy division and sneak in. But that's just between barely beating Arizona, losing to the Saints, losing to Atlanta. They're just ready to say, we're just not that good, and we're ready to get the reservations and set the tee times up.
Tip of the cap to Atlanta for pulling that game out. You're right, Kirk Cousins was really good last night. I loved watching Kyle Pitts explode. What a game out of him. 11 for $166. What did 2 touchdowns pay on him?
20. 3 was a 110-1.
Okay. What was 150-plus yards?
That I didn't see.
I mean, come on. Are you serious with that? And he looked like the dude that we've been waiting to explode for 5 years now. Finally came on last night on a national TV game and did so. But everything about the Buccaneers side, it was an abomination. The players were not great. And then the coaching staff on top of it. And I'll run all of that down coming up in a second. But I found this intriguing. What a spot in the year for Todd Bowles to go scorched earth on his own players. And this is what he told the media after the game.
What do you tell them in the locker room after a game like this?
It's inexcusable. You don't make excuses. You got to care enough where the shit hurts. You got to care enough where the shit hurts. It got to mean something to you. It's more than a job. It's your livelihood. How well do you know your job? How well can you do your job? Well, you can't sugarcoat it. It was inexcusable, and there's no answer for it. There's no excuse for it. That's what you tell them in the locker room. Look in the mirror.
That's like the scene in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Incredible.
Steve Martin at the reservation to get the car.
Great call. That's 7 F-bombs, my friend.
In 30 seconds.
That's right. That's impressive. And you don't expect it out of that guy. But that goes what Baker said a couple weeks ago about how it's supposed to hurt and how you're supposed to feel after a loss. But it's always interesting where you kind of remember bizarre football games or meltdowns, and the Bucs had been 124-1 since 1991 when leading by 14 or more in the fourth quarter. The other loss was 2003 to Peyton Manning. You remember the game and where you were.
Yeah,
as do I.
Yeah, I was watching at the Palms here in town when the Palms was the casino to be at, right? And a guy I was watching with at the bar there, that one center bar area, had 10 dimes on the game, on the Buccaneers. That was a fun one to lose.
Couldn't get a stop?
No, could not get a stop. And Peyton,
right. Well, when something like that happens, number one, it's the first time since 2016 a team won a game with 19 penalties. The last time was also against Tampa Bay. The Raiders did it. How does Mooney get that fumble? There's 5 Buccaneers
7.
right there.
I think 7.
I mean, come on, at least 5. I retweeted the picture. It's like, you got to be kidding. And then Cousins jumps on it with that fumble. And, I mean, everything had to go. The Pitts touchdown. Is the ass down or the elbow? Elbow, ass. What came down? I mean, everything happened, and it just covered somebody. This team has stunk all year on offense, and you can't get one stop here when it counts.
They did that. They got whatever they wanted offensively. Almost had like 500 yards in the game. It was Bijan all game long. It was Kyle Pitts, like you said.
Oh, the props were fantastic.
Oh, I mean,
everything we talked about.
How about down the sideline?
What are you doing?
How does he? Now, I don't know. That's a touchdown.
Probably, though. I think he gets in.
He might.
I don't know. What are you trying to do there?
I don't understand that.
God.
I know. Otherwise, Chargers going to be there with 6-1, but he went flying over the receptions prop. But so Bowles does that. Uh-huh. And again, think about this for a second. Atlanta burned all 3 timeouts before the 2-minute warning. They couldn't stop the clock. 2nd and 14 with 2:24 left. Run the ball, you idiots. What are you doing? How do you let this team drop back to pass? Incomplete pass, sack, punt with 1:49 left. No. You run the ball instead. You melt the clock down to a minute or below. Then you punt back to Atlanta, and they're not going to have much time to go down and do what they did.
Yeah.
And then they have a 3rd and 28 and then a 4th and 14.
Come on.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
Dump off to Pitts, gets half of it, and then the throw to Sills. You can't give up a 3rd and 28 and a 4th and 14.
Absolutely, under no circumstance.
Yeah. And the Saints did the same thing the prior week. Just run the ball. 2-minute warning. Tampa's out of timeouts. They threw it on 3rd and long and gave them a chance, although they got to stop. So after the game, Cousins and Pitts are on the dais and on the postgame show. And Gonzalez had the question to Pitts about, we've been begging them to throw you the ball. We wanted you to get more touches. This is what we were asking for, and they got it. And like Cousins was pissed off and made a face. I think there's a little bit more of what's going on, what Chart said about, does Pitts really want it? Because I think he has the talent, and I just think maybe the contract year, he has to close strong.
Yeah, I can buy into that.
Like, why does it take so long? Why are these games, these glimpses, and so many drops, and why you go through 8-9 games of a season, you don't do anything?
It's a fair point, Paul.
I saw it. To me, it's Cousins' takeaway is, believe me, we try, and it's just, you got to turn your key too.
Okay, am I mistaken by saying this? Watching Kyle Pitts play last night, he could be like a top 5, 8, 10 weapon in the entire league.
I understand the scheme sucks. I know that.
Okay,
Art Smith,
yes.
That's fair. That's fair. But you are right. You should not. You watch that game? How does that team have 4 wins?
That's a great question.
And you didn't even have London. So I know Tampa's horrific defensively, but there is no way that's a 4-win team. And it's on Morris, too.
Oh, big time.
I don't know why he's going, smiling at the camera afterwards. Okay, congrats. You beat the team that fired you. But you're going to go win 5 games. That's it. Come on.
There's also this. Mike Evans certainly was at the forefront on the Buccaneers side. They were pissed off after the game. They were. I think because of how the coaching unraveled at the end. Like, there's no way you blow that game or give them that. You're basically telling Atlanta, here's what we're going to do. We're going to give you the best scenario possible to come back and win the game right now because we're going to be complete fools out here, not run the clock. I'll tell you, and they have not been covering numbers here at all recently. If they lose to Carolina next week, you want to talk about 1, 2, 3 Cancun in weeks 17 and 18. Mm-hmm. This team would wave the white flag, I believe, and completely give up on the coaching staff and the season.
And I think Bowles is in trouble now. Big trouble.
Oh, he has to be.
Yep. You're a defensive guy. They're horrendous defensively. You can't give that up. But what happened? I mean, it's what Sills did, what Robinson did, and what Pitts did. That's unacceptable. So the tirade afterwards and all the F-bombs, but suddenly he's gone from Coach of the Year candidate to definitely being on the hot seat.
Now, they might get some help in their division this week because the Panthers are playing at the Saints. They need a Panthers loss. Well, guess what? They are favored, small favorites. They were 6-point favorites, give or take, against the Saints the first time they played a few weeks ago at home. Lost outright. That was their 11th straight loss when favored. And overall, Carolina is 16-34 ATS as a favorite going all the way back to 2016. This is a losable game, certainly, for the Panthers.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Chuck's playing well. This is huge for the win total. I'll bring up the first quarter thing again. They've been outscored 99-26, 0-11-2, first quarter money line. Yet to lead at the end of the first quarter, but they got the money last week against Tampa. But this is a tough game, and this is a tough week. I mean, these point spreads are crazy in all these games.
Put it this way, Pauly, I looked at the 5-team money line parlay today of all the favorites by, like, Houston's 9.5, but all these other favorites are 12.5, 13.5 points. Here at Circa, it pays, give or take, minus 110. Other books, it's touching 140. Mm-hmm. So a 5-team money line parlay, you can't even get even money on it this week.
And think of the quarterbacks that you're going against. You know, Cook, Riley Leonard, some of these guys.
Yep. And
how bad these teams have been.
I almost want to do it just because you're going against the bad quarterbacks and just the absolute stink bombs of the league.
Yeah.
In rematches, by the way, same season rematches, the Saints 16-5 straight up, 17-4 ATS going back. It's the season to come together over your holiday favorites at Starbucks. Warm up with a creamy caramel brulee latte. Get festive with an iced gingerbread chai, or share a velvety peppermint mocha. Had one of those bad boys earlier today. Absolutely delicious. Together is the best place to be at Starbucks. Look, I mean, I'm all for what Mike Montesato said the other day. Try to keep it as healthy as possible during the holiday season. Make sure you get a couple of workouts in. I try to eat as healthy as possible, but I said I've told you before I love coffee, and the holiday drinks are so good.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
get after it.
I have to have them.
Love the bagels too. Don't forget the bagel.
Up next, more games. Week 15 NFL. Even in a plus matchup, the projections at vsin.com have the star running back going way under his rushing yards prop.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
More games here. Week 15 National Football League. Ravens at the Bengals. These two teams just played Thanksgiving night. You all know what happened. It was a bad performance by the Ravens. They got bounced, and the Bengals scored a ton of points. They won the game, and that was Joe Burrow's first game back. Here at Circa, Ravens are 2.5 minus 120. There are a bunch of 2.5s out there, but a handful of books, at least with 3 here on the game, including the South Point in Las Vegas. This is the player I was talking about before the break. So the Opta AI stats at vsin.com, you can get all those on every single player prop projection, NFL and the NBA, when you become a VSiN Pro subscriber at vsin.com/subscribe. They've been low on Derrick Henry pretty much the entire year. Think about this, Pauly. It's the Bengals defense we're talking about, where you rushed for 6 yards a carry for the Las Vegas Gladiators in the Arena Football League 20 years ago. I think you would get that against Cincinnati.
Absolutely.
They are projecting him to go under his 87.5-yard prop by 25 yards in this game. Can we ladder unders? That's got to be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
How do you like that?
But you know, the other thing is all these tight ends should eat as well. And Charch gave out the Kolar anytime touchdown at a big price. But look what the Bills did last week. Not only did 9 different players have a reception, Knox went off, Kincaid went off, and Haas had a touchdown. So with Kolar and Likely and Andrews, it could go through the air. I know they got away from the run too soon in the Thanksgiving night game, but there was a good quote from Kyle Hamilton. It's I'm sick of this. It's annoying. I meet with the media every week. We got to turn it on. And it hasn't happened. And I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. And I think they can win this game, and it's going to be probably the second coldest game in that stadium at 13 degrees. But 12-1 under their first half team total. Come on, Baltimore.
Wow.
Lamar Jackson, 18-3 straight up, week 14 on. But between the silly turnovers and how you lost these last 2 games, they did it to themselves with that 1-5 start. And I do think they win this game, though, but the schedule's too tough coming up with New England and then the trip to Lambeau, where the guys down the street make them a 5.5-point dog. It's a shame because they have so much talent, but they wasted this season.
Let's get nuts, have some guts in this game. The Bengals have allowed the most catches, the most yards by more than 300, and the most touchdowns to tight ends this year. And by the way, the most touchdowns by 6. They've allowed 15. A couple of teams have allowed 9. You mentioned last week, a couple of weeks back, Hunter Henry, 7 for $115 and a touchdown. In that same game, Hooper had 3 for 39. Thanksgiving night, Likely 5 for 95. Didn't score, should have.
Yeah.
Andrews 4 for 47. Remember the Colston Loveland game, 6 for 118, 2 touchdowns. Mason Taylor 5 for 34 and 1. And how could you forget the Thursday nighter in Week 7, Pittsburgh, when Freiermuth had 5 for 111 and 2. Jonnu Smith scored, and Washington had 3 catches for 2 yards and 1 touchdown. Think about that stat line for a second. So I parlayed Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely anytime at plus 844, and I threw one in there I added Kolar as well. All 3 guys to score is almost 140 to 1.
Good job.
So
Good job.
There's also this, Steve Makinen, vsin.com. Since 2012, teams playing the same opponent twice in 3 weeks, losing the first, favored in the second, 8-3 straight up in ATS.
So you voiced your concern earlier in the week about the Burrow comments, and maybe why the line moved as well. So this is certainly panic time with what he said as well. You think that's fair?
I think if you're a Bengals fan, you never wanted to dream of hearing these words.
It's surprising.
Yeah.
I think what he said. Here's Burrow meeting with the media earlier in the week.
We'll get it for you in a
Change the way
second.
that you view the game.
No, it certainly doesn't change my desire to win. If I want to keep doing this, I have to have fun doing it. I've been through a lot, and if it's not fun, then what am I doing it for?
Interesting.
And people were tweeting the show the other day when we talked about it, and they said that may have been the reason why the money came in on Baltimore. Do you want to buy into that?
Well, I'm sure he's sick of it.
No,
Between how bad the defense is.
That's by the way, got to be the biggest part of it, right?
Yeah, right. You wasted the prime of my career. We can't. We're scoring 38 points and losing on a regular basis. We're setting records.
That's right.
The numbers we're
Back-to-back
putting
years,
up.
by the way.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's a total shot at the organization and how they have whiffed on making the defense any better. Can't go out there in all these games and score 30 plus and lose so often.
Yep. No Higgins. That's big. But again, the weather could impact things, but they should be able to get whatever they want offensively, and that was just embarrassing what transpired Thanksgiving night, season on the line, all that stuff. I don't think they have it in them to run the table, and then they're probably going to need help because the Steelers are going to have the tiebreaker.
Yep. Can you believe this? The Chiefs are 11-20-1 ATS. That is 35.5% against teams in their own division since 2020. Now, they've owned this division in terms of straight up until this year. And again, up to 5.5-point favorites here in this game. It's a bad spot for the Chargers. It's going to be cold in Kansas City.
Right.
Herbert's dinged up, obviously, with the hand. He was just sacked on Monday night 7 times. You saw what the Chiefs' defense did against Houston. They couldn't get an inch on offense until Andy Reid gave them the game late in that second half anyway. Having said all that, 5.5? You still want to go under the total here?
Yeah.
It's moved.
I like the under. I know. Chiefs will probably win, but they can go hurt somebody else as they continue to have 6-7 season and the playoff streak going to come to an end. Even if they win, they're 17% to make the playoffs. Chargers go up to 93% with a win. Haven't swept them since 2013, and we knew this would correct itself. 11-0 last year in one-score games. This year, 1-6. You are correct about Andy Reid, and we let him have it on Monday. It was ridiculous what he did on the 4th down. I think they win, but I just think there's a tax here with the must win, but they keep getting you every single week. Oh, they got to win. They got to win. I watch this every year. They're going to get hot and sneak in, and it's just not going to happen this year that they're 11% to make the playoffs and that bad performance against Houston, and now you're down Hollywood Brown, who's out too.
Yep. I can't get over some of the numbers in recent games, and we talk about it every single week. They're beefed up big time. Again, they got to 4.5-point favorites on the road at Denver.
Yeah.
Crazy town.
Yeah.
Right? I actually thought it was a low spot last week when they were 3 against Houston, and they still lost the game. But, man, oh, man.
Well, it's also surprising to see Mahomes struggle like this, too. I know you're down guys on the offensive line, but he's turnovers and not making the big play. Kelsey hasn't helped him out. You got to go Dicker over here, by the way, and 33-yard field goal each team as well. Yeah. I think we'll see plenty of field goals in this game.
Well, again, watching the game on Monday night, you never once thought Dicker was ever in danger of not making a field goal.
Yeah.
Now you're going to get outside conditions, obviously, so it could be a little trickier. But in a dome, this guy, I wish, can you bet it at the moment? Like, is he going to make it from 55? Yes, every single time. It's just right down the middle.
What do you do with it? We get Dart and also Herbert. I think Herbert and Dart are with quite the conundrum with the rushing yards, what you're going to do. Because last week was totally unexpected. Yeah. Why would you take off? You have the hand, but then again, they couldn't protect him. He's running for his life every play.
That'll probably be a same situation this week.
And then there was a good, report from the Giants source that this is what got him here. This is what Dart does. Yeah. And he's down to 28.5 with the rushing yards. So even though that might not be the design runs, he's still going to take off and go. And that's, that's how he plays, and that's what he said.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'll compare it to what happened last night. Missed an unbelievable opportunity on Mike Evans.
That's right.
Has he ever in his life been 39.5 yards in a game? The answer has to be no.
Oh, what a performance.
And he just goes over every imagination. By the way, did he look like he was ever injured this year?
No.
Guy looked unbelievable.
Here he was 3-1 to have 70 yards. 5 yards every quarter was plus 750. 25 yards each half was almost 4-1. I mean, piece of cake.
That all got there.
Oh, yeah, damn right. Piece of cake. 7-11.
So, I mean, you said 3-1 on 70 yards?
That was here, yes.
Yeah. So 100 was going to be 7-8-1 probably at some books.
Yeah. To
get that high. And so that was, and by the way, now what do you think Mike Evans is going to open up for the rest of the year if they're still in the playoff mix? Like, what does he open up against Carolina next week?
Uh-huh.
One game back, you're going to go from 39.5 to like 65 on the guy?
No problem. It's a funny game. How about McMillan coming right back?
28 he was almost the first touchdown scorer.
It's a bad beat, I know.
Yeah.
28-1, down at the 1. First game in there, and he almost scores. That would have been incredible.
It really would have been. So I guess to bring it back to Dart, look, I would only play Herbert to go over again. He's going to be under duress this game against the Chiefs.
Right.
I have every fiber in my being says, look, it's going to be a carbon copy of what happened against the Eagles. So bet that. And at some point, he's going to be like, holy hell, this sucks. I'm getting smoked on every single passing play.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to run for my life here.
That was disappointing how they struggled on offense. I mean, they had no passing attack. Yeah. But again, because you can't protect up front, though.
If we never watched Patrick Mahomes play with the Chiefs, and priors never existed.
Yeah.
There's no way they're 5.5 in this game.
Right. And Pitts is the best player in the NFL. If he just tuned in for the first time last night.
Well, no kidding. We'll talk to someone who has $1 million on a team this week. He'll donate half the money to charity if it wins. What happens if it's a loser? We'll ask him coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
I told the story yesterday. We met our first guest today on the program when we took the show on the road to Foxwoods back in 2021. And 8 of us are sitting down to dinner. We got to Foxwoods and that first night, hey, let's go get a steak. And there's 8 of us. And the server comes over before they're bringing the bread over. Hey, by the way, the meal's been taken care of. What? What are you talking about? And then our guest, Evan Loring, walks by. He's like, hey, guys, love the show. Love the network. Have a great dinner. We're like, what? Are you serious? Thanks, Evan. And Evan Loring joins the program now. He is a Boston-based tech entrepreneur. He's on the Progressive Guest Line, and he's got his buddy, his great-looking dog, Neo, with him as well. You're going to get the full explanation on this in a minute. Evan, thanks for popping on today. Great to see you again, pal. And you have $1 million on the Patriots this weekend. Why do you like them so much?
Gentlemen, thanks for having me, and great to see you again. Ultimately, I was very surprised that Patriots opened up underdogs this week, right, when all the lines came out from the get-go there. I mean, ultimately, I think you look at these teams, Buffalo is a lot of people's Super Bowl favorites, right? Everyone still on the radio continues to talk about what their odds are to win the Super Bowl today. I think when you break down a little bit of what, the defenses look like, Paul, you do a great job talking about how disastrous they are here and there. And you take a look at the offensive side of the ball where they really are required to run the ball to see a lot of that success, right? There's been a lot of issues, so to speak, in the passing game this year. Honestly, I think you look at an opportunity where the Patriots are are going to be in a battle, but ultimately I think they can come out on top, being better on the defensive side of the ball and being able to stop the run, being one of their strengths. And then coupled with the maturation you see with Drake May and what he's doing today. So again, I was very surprised. I thought it was mispriced. Then again, I've been wrong before, but I think this is a great opportunity where an underdog, and you're going to see battles in the market this, I assume, up to Sunday, but I think this is where you're going to see a very small underdog live to win the game outright on Sunday.
This is incredible that we have two of these. And you have to go back to 2005 AFC title game when the Patriots beat Roethlisberger, when you got a team on a 10-game winning streak and you're a dog at home. It's nuts. How about our guy Henderson? I would think Henderson can gash him on the ground too if Vrabel puts him in there enough, because Buffalo can't stop the run.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Pauly. I mean, I honestly think you're going to see a lot of the trench play be better from the Patriots on both sides of the ball. If they can establish a run against this Buffalo defense, which, by the way, has at times seemed absolutely clueless as to what's going on with being able to stop the run, that's going to put this Patriots team, I think, in an advantageous position, allow Drake May to actually do some things a little bit more effective. You've seen the totals tick down a little bit, too. I think that's a little bit based on the temperatures up here. I think we're looking at like 30 degrees, right? So in that case, maybe some people are chilling out on how much scoring's being done. But in my opinion, at that point, if you're telling me there's going to be more defense played, I think that's advantageous to New England.
All right, so Evan Loring's our guest. He's on the Progressive Guest Line. He has $1 million on the Patriots this week. He's a Boston-based tech entrepreneur. But it's not just about the bet. There's way more to it than this, which makes it a really cool story. What are you going to do with a huge sum of the money if they win?
Yeah, no, thank you. And this is the big part of where I'm grateful for you guys sharing your platform here with this wager here. But yeah, I was walking around the streets of Boston Monday, just obviously looking at the lines and thinking about things. This time of year, I think, is obviously a special time for a lot of people. And I think it's important for people, who have been blessed with some form of success to consider ways to give back, right, to certain things, charities or goodwill in that regard. And as you saw with Neo, those are my children, and I've kind of got a soft spot in my heart for any and all animals. And since I've had them and living in Boston, I've been able to have an opportunity to spend some time with some of the wonderful people over at the MSPCA and Angel Animal Hospital. This place does an amazing job of not only being basically a worldwide leader in animal healthcare, but really looks at from a full service element of adoptions. Helping quote unquote under-resourced families who have pets with low care health care and procedures as well. And I got a chance to get over there and tour their facilities on Monday, the same place I take my dogs, and get a better look at what the surgery rooms look like. Taking a look at how they scan dogs with cancer to understand where masses are, identify them, and then ultimately shrink them to make these animals more comfortable, right, as they go through it. And then also get into the adoption centers as well, where toward that area to see where certain animals are being self-surrendered because their owners maybe can't take care of them or can't live up to the expectations of what's needed for their healthcare. And so the special part about this bet, when I was thinking of kind of the dogs this time of year and the Patriots being underdogs, I said, well, this all aligns. I go, why wouldn't we take, a large sum of this money here and ultimately donate it to a good cause that supports, these animals. And so, what we've started here with the pledge here is of the $1 million in profit you see here on this Fanatics wager that we placed a couple of days ago is I've pledged at least half of the winnings to the MSPCA Angel Animal Medical Center here in Massachusetts. And, one of the reasons why I'm even on here, we don't put these bets up a lot of times, or at least I don't do that personally, unlike some others. I thought there was an opportunity to be proactive, to encourage people maybe to say, hey, whether you're in the betting community, whether you're just at home and you get a commission check, right, from your sales job, is to think about, potentially taking some of those winnings in a sports wager or whatever it is you may do, or even what you make at home to give it to some element of goodwill. And in this case, I'm choosing to do that here with from the animal segment. But the last point I wanted to say just about the MSPCA, and it was an interesting interview I had or the discussion I had with the woman who runs the adoption center. And I thought one of the unique things she talked about were these dogs. Everyone thinks all this money or these experiences or the help that they give are provided to animals. One of the great points she made was that so many people benefit from the experience of adopting a dog or bringing a dog into their life or their family's life. And so with all the things they do, all the wonderful things they do over there at the MSPCA, this isn't just about helping animals. It's also about helping people. And I think that was really what kind of, brought the thing full circle for me. in that regard. And one of the things that anyone else would like to potentially jump in and donate, the MSPCA has a what's called a big 500K holiday match. So there's other donors out there that have agreed to match any donations done for the MSPCA at this point all the way through December. And there's, into where if you give $10, there's other donors that are going to match this. Now, my donation is totally separate of that, right? So this donation isn't going to wipe out, the match program, right? That's going to be separate. But that's another area where I'd love to encourage anyone to think about any of their winnings or any other good fortune they have over the holidays is to consider the MSPCA and their holiday match program.
Well said, buddy.
Job.
Great job out of you. Now, what happens if the Patriots lose?
Yeah, great question, right? It's funny because this is a scary world here, right, Pauly? It's not all rainbows and butterflies over here with sports betting, right?
No.
I walked around that floor with Jeff Benson. He took an arm off me, once or twice here when I'm out there in circuit, right? It's not always fun and happy slamming Derek's desk with money on the bar there with Spider at the Mega Bar or whatever the hell they call that place. But it's a scary world out there, and honestly, I think that's given some people some apprehension in terms of this whole goodwill story. But I'd like everyone to know that rest assured, no matter what happens with the Patriots, the fine folks and animals over there at the MSPCA are going to have a very significant donation from me. We can tease that, Paul. What we'll do is we'll set that up for one of the win some elements of next week. Well, maybe not Monday, Tuesday. I guarantee it will be up by at least Wednesday. And you know what? We'll have a win some regardless of the outcome of the game.
Great job. This is all over Instagram as well. How about the difference?
Yeah,
but the difference between a French bulldog and a regular English bulldog?
Yeah, well, listen, between the two, when I got Maverick, I thought the French bulldog, I thought this was easier, right? He's smaller, it's easier to figure it out, right? I'm the first time I've ever had any responsibility over anything that's not work. I would call a living organism, so to speak. But boy, I was dead wrong. I got Maverick, and he's got a lot of attitude. It's too cold out. He doesn't want to go out. Doesn't really listen. Picks and chooses his just decides to do what he wants here and there. I get Neo, the big English bulldog. Much easier to manage, right? You tell him it's time to go out, he's got it. He gets the job done, gets in and out. So the difference between the two is the Frenchies are a little bit more temperamental and they march to the beat of their own drum. The English Bulldogs, I think, are a little bit more well-behaved and listen to their parents.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it was a thing on Instagram as well with you and Michael Rubin from Fanatics this week.
Yeah.
You had a great weekend last weekend.
Yeah, no, I've been very fortunate the last couple of weeks, with the fine folks over there at Fanatics. They've done a great job and they've done a good job courting me as well for some of the sports betting action. But I can't give those guys enough credit in terms of, I think working with their players and doing some unique things in the market that maybe some other books aren't doing. And that's why I think you're seeing their market share grow the way it is. But yeah, Michael gets enough props, on his media outlets and his other shows, but we'll hopefully keep putting dents in his sports book and we'll keep taking it to him.
Yeah. Hopefully it happens this Sunday in the Patriots game. Awesome job out of you again, Evan. Thanks for the time and best of luck coming up in that game on Sunday.
Guys, can't wait to see you soon. Take care, guys. Appreciate your time.
Yep.
Great job.
There you go. Evan Loing.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. Boston-based tech entrepreneur. And imagine a local animal hospital / adoption agency getting a $500,000 check. What? Now I get it. There are big donors all over the country, different cities, but that's got to make their entire.
Yeah.
How many years?
Incredible. Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And a great explanation too, because it breaks your heart. Sometimes you go on Instagram and it'll say the reason the dog is surrendered.
I can't even do it.
Yeah.
I can't even go to these local spots and have them tell me the story. It's heartbreaking. Win some, lose some. Coming up next. Pauly has great details on some of the props that came in last night, the Pitts numbers, Mike Evans, combo of those two guys and others next here on VSiN.
Win Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays.
Were you a winner last night? Wow, winning. Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser!
Pauly Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
What a game. What a finish. What a game for props. Too many flags. Come on with the holding. But in any event, that was awesome. And every time these teams get together, it lives up and exceeds our expectations. Tucker first touchdown 25-1, anytime plus 550. Pitts 2 touchdowns 20-1. 3 touchdowns 110 to 1. First tight end since 1996 with 150 yards and 3 touchdowns. Fourth all time. Shannon Sharp, Winslow, Todd Christensen. Pitts and Evans, 200 yards. I think I shortchanged it there. I think it was 20 to 1 at Caesars. The one time I don't take a picture of the screen and the menu, those guys go crazy and something absurd happens. Caesars had a lot of combo stuff with Pitts and Evans tied together. I can only imagine.
Sure.
I can only imagine what it paid. Evans, 70 yards at circa 3 to 1. 5 yards every quarter plus 750, 25 yards each half plus 375, no problem. Cousins and Mayfield, 600 passing yards combined, 8 to 1. Culp, anytime, 13 to 1. You know who had it. Ozzy had it, TMI Ozzy. For 5 figures. He loves to bet backup tight ends and quarterbacks.
I went with the other guy.
Did you? Okay.
Durham?
You did that too. Yeah, right. Culp gets in there. Probably the only guy in the country with a Culp anytime. Number 82, Octopus, 15 to 1. Godwin scores the touchdown, then gets the 2. Pelicans, Blaze. That's a good point, too, from Robert. That's only the 3rd time it's happened all year. Some places had higher odds, but it should be. That's really hard to do. Pelicans, Blazers over, 237.5 up to 242.5. No problem there. Ice cream. Bucks plus 230. Told you the Celtics were fugazi. Blew a huge lead and got run out in the second half.
How often does that happen in the NBA? Now, Freak's been out for a minute, but...
Oh, when the star's out, everyone steps up?
100%.
Yeah, 9.5-point favorite. Absolutely. Sure. Avalanche did it again. Goal in the first 10 at home, 13 in a row.
Okay.
And the broadcaster pointed out that 15 times this year they've scored within the first 2 minutes of a period.
I could not believe that. Somebody reached out to us on X and tweeted us last night. 15 times overall. It's the middle of December.
It is.
That's it.
Goal in the first 5. That's a good price,
so to your point, right?
Yep.
Forget goal in the first 10. If you've been betting them goal in the first 5 all year long, I mean, you're crushing it.
No doubt. And that Keno jackpot we showed the other day that hit on Thanksgiving, the 10 spot, it was 1 in 8 million. Thanks to Brian Jones. Better chance of getting struck by lightning a couple times than to get a 10 spot on that Keno, what that person did.
Remember The Great Outdoors, John Candy, 80s movie? Absolutely loved it. The guy that got hit by lightning. How many times has he been hit by lightning? 6. And 6, that's a lot. And he's stuttering. 66 times I've been hit by lightning. God, I love that movie.
It's good. Subscribe, be part of the team, vsin.com, our radio and podcast friends. You always want to see these tweets and videos. You've been doing an excellent job the last month. Thanks to everyone who sends them in. You've been fantastic. You got the Bulldog. Man down. Here we go. Oh, the Mastiffs. Look at this. Do the Bulldog Monday. Look at this setup. He's got 3 or 4 Mastiffs, and everyone has their own bowl. Everyone's waiting for food, and all set up. Look how big these guys are. And everyone gets their bowl, and here, okay, now it's your turn. Now it's your turn. I mean, imagine what you got to go through to feed these guys.
Oh, the amount of money you spend on food on a weekly basis.
Sure. I know our guy Alan Boston had a Great Dane. I mean, these are everyone has their own bowl. Everyone's well behaved.
I would lose a wrestling match to those dogs.
No kidding. Yeah. No kidding.
Look at that.
5?
6.
Oh! I didn't see that the first time.
It's like cows lined up at the trough.
Wow.
Is it 5 or 6? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Good job, Luke. That's excellent. Lose some. Breaking news. Kyle Whittingham, done at Utah. He's going to retire. He will coach the bowl game, though, for Utah. Incredible job with that program. And a couple bad beats. Sills anytime touchdown, 6 to 1. Why are you trying to catch the ball that way? I think he gets in. McMillan first touchdown, 28 to 1. Down at the 1.
Now, what do you think of this? Because Ryan Kramer, who's on the show later on, gave out Mayfield. I backed him on that bet. They're at the 1-inch line.
Yeah, I thought that was in play, sure.
Right? They never even considered doing like the tush-push or him sneaking it in. Isn't that an indication that he's hurt more than we might even think?
Yeah.
Now, he took shots down the field a little bit last night.
Oh, how about the interception? Hot dog arm. Something wrong with him.
Yeah.
Is that going to Ibuka?
Yeah.
Underthrew him big time. He's wide open.
Yep.
For the line move, sharp plays already there. They don't just follow the market. They help shape it. We love Jeff and the crew. He's been on the show many times. That's an excellent job. Look for the Mr. Poison tweets and the primetime touchdowns. First score, trusted by pros, monitored by the books. Advanced AI, connected to proven insider sources, active across all sports. The Robin Hood plays. He's donated $22,000 to charity the last couple of years. Stay ahead of the line. Documentary results, public logs, sharpplays.com. Get up there now, sharpplays.com. Thanks to the tweets and emails as well to elaborate and expand on the frustration and like how Cousins was bothered by Gonzalez's question. Work ethic has been a problem and a question about Pitts as well.
Right.
So now we'll see if he's going to get paid and if Atlanta's in a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation if he lights it up the rest of the year. And huge for fantasy. I mean, who saw that coming?
Oh, by the way, so we had a weekly conference call here at work today. I didn't notice who it was, but somebody mentioned that the person that they were playing last night, how many people do you think across the country did this? They sat Pitts last night.
That's a tough one. I think Zach Cohen said that.
Yeah, you are running hot at that point.
Yep.
By the way, we're not even an hour deep yet. I've had 2 80s movie references so far on the show today. Should I keep trying to make that a thing for the next 2 hours on the show?
No.
Just end it right now?
No. Fezzik does that stupid stuff all the time.
Oh, he does?
Oh, he references Wall Street like the only movie he's seen. It's like mid-'80s. Come on,
But I gave you a planes, trains, and automobiles.
No,
yeah,
okay.
for the younger demo, they have no idea what I'm talking about.
No.
But, like, I guarantee Von Tobel's never seen either movie.
Yeah.
He refuses to watch any movie before he was born. So forget it. He's never seen The Godfather. He's probably never seen Silence of the Lambs, Probably never seen Reservoir Dogs, any of that. So
I can't get over this. And I knew Evan Abrams would have it. So we got Denver and New England, home dogs. They both won 10 in a row. The last time it happened, and you had your starting quarterback, 2005 AFC title game, Patriots beat Roethlisberger. 1976 AFC title game, Raiders-Steelers. That's it. And we got 2 of them on the same day.
Right. Well, I have more information on that. I'm going to save this because you can get it when you go to vsin.com and find out some of these numbers as well. I have more numbers on it when these teams are in this situation. It's rare, like you said, but I'll give you one guess how it has gone, by the way, for home teams. So,
a lot going on. These crazy point spreads. Who's starting at quarterback? It's going to be cold in Chicago, brutal in Chicago, bad in Cincinnati, put up or shut up time. And this is a tough week. Very difficult with the point spreads. Look at all these double-digit favorites we have.
I know.
Can you share the idea that this guy had on the email of how he's playing one of these games? Because you're talking about backup quarterbacks or...
Oh, yes. How about this? I love this angle.
This is very unique and creative.
I'm going to see if I can get down on something like this. So this is from Joe. He put in a bet. It's a parlay, but he bet Oregon to have 2+ defensive / special teams touchdowns against James Madison. And I love the other bet on this one, the Seattle Seahawks to do the same. $20 pays $44,000. The Seahawks just did this a couple of weeks ago. It wasn't against... Yeah, it was against Minnesota, wasn't it? 2 defensive touchdowns?
I thought it was Arizona.
It might have been Arizona,
right.
Yeah.
But they had the pick 6 against Minnesota, too.
Yeah, it was Arizona, in fact.
What do you think one pays?
If you just parlay one from each?
I just want one defensive or special teams touchdown out of each. Yeah.
Probably worth a bet.
Yeah, that's a good angle.
That's going to be, because
it's a good angle. It's a good angle to just do it in these NFL games and fade Cook with the Jets and fade Riley Leonard and Indy.
I think if the Seahawks price is right, it's going to be lower than your average NFL game, and books will offer that. Like, here's plus $7 on a team to have a defensive or a special teams touchdown. Sometimes they get down to plus $5.50. I haven't even looked yet until Joe sent in that message, but I love the creativity with that. And Ryan Kramer, again, on the show a little bit later on, Sports Gambling Podcast, he's good with coming up with ideas in these situations and what to look for. Like your guy Ozzie betting the backup. He's not even he's like the 3rd string tight end.
Oh, yeah.
In that game. And by the way, I would argue not high enough on the number.
Yeah.
To score.
Yeah.
But it's also like to his point, Ozzie's Mills for the Texans. Anytime touchdown.
18-20 to 1. Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, who doesn't take off at all.
Yep.
Why would you bet it? But he gets in, the huge number. And to be the first touchdown of the game on top of that. So VSiN host Mike Somich going to join the program coming up next. He has a lot of bets to get to, sides, totals, player props. And he is not afraid to lay 2 touchdowns this weekend in one of the games. Obviously, we have a ton with big point spreads. But find out which one he likes coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.